What is up, folks? It has been a long time.
Are you ready for this?
Last y'all heard from us, we were pretty much in the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, and we were kind of speculating on who was going to come out of it. And
You were right.
we end up getting Golden State versus the Celtics in the NBA Finals. But going back to the Eastern and Western Conference Finals, so on the Eastern side, Miami tried their damnedest to try to bring Boston to their breaking point.
Man, they couldn't do it, and
Jimmy Butler can only do so much.
And really, what happened was a lot of the inconsistencies that they were having. I would say towards the end of the season started really creeping up, and at this point, I mean, by the time they got to the finals, I'll just be honest with you, I thought they were out of gas. I thought Philly really took them longer to beat Philly than they thought it would. You know what I mean? And they just didn't look like the stronger team going in. And Boston, all they had to do was clamp down on them. Boston, that was the one thing that was
Boston should have swept that, and that kind of is something that irked me about Boston, because I'm like, you should have finished these guys like.
Well, see, here's the thing that gets me. Everybody is really thinking that there's killers on Boston. There's no killers on Boston. Okay,
you don't think so?
There's no killers.
Everybody makes it seems like Marcus Smart.
No, here's the thing. Here's the thing with their setup. Marcus Smart is a super good defender. He's a great defender, good leader, to be honest with you. Great leader, almost like a Rondo type of person. You know what I mean? He keeps the fucking squad together. You got Jaylen Brown, who's a fucking he's a spark plug to me. Yeah, he's supposed to be that person that gives you that boost of scoring when you need it. And Jaylen Brown, he is supposed to be the superstar of the squad. Here's the problem: Jaylen Brown is not quite there. I mean, Jason Tatum is not quite there yet, and Jaylen Brown. God, when they have to give the game to Jaylen Brown, that's not a good thing. I didn't see a lot of success out of the Bama. That was my problem of them going in there. Like, y'all was really hoping Al Horford was going to be
old
on
ass Al Horford.
They really thought this nigga, who, by the way, I think he's like a year younger or older than us. Yeah, we're talking a lot of shit. But that motherfucker. Really, y'all really thought that was gonna ride that wave of that old Dominican just shitting on niggas? That was gonna stop as soon as y'all got to the finals.
I mean,
that was always going to get disrupted, and they relied on there being some type of backup from him or something like that.
And then on the Western Conference front, the veteran knowledge of Golden State kind of shined through, because Dallas, you can only ride your boy for so long before you're like, hey, when is everybody else on the Mavericks other than
man, don't worry, Bronson gonna do something for him. Nah, don't worry, Dinwiddie got him.
Dinwiddie was doing his best to kind of like justify his pay at Mavericks. I'm looking at Bertans, and all of us Wizards fans was like, yep, and there is Bertans right there. Good old Bertans. Showing up when you're not showing up.
That nigga showed up one game in the whole playoffs to me. And even then, it was just like 2 threes in a row. It wasn't like nothing spectacular. It wasn't like this nigga came off the bench and like blocked. They had like 3 blocks and like 6 rebounds and shit. No!
I had
no. Bertans has been shit for the last like 3 seasons. And Wizards fans, we had to eat that shit.
I was one of those people that was like, yeah, pay Bertans the money, and then I had to eat that shit the following season. Like, I told
you that wasn't a good idea. When he get it, I was like, I get it, but that's stupid to dump that money on this motherfucker.
I had hope.
Contract like that too, by the way.
I had hope. I had blind optimism because he had did good that season, hence why they paid him. And then it's like the next season, I'm like, where's Bertans?
This motherfucker, the Wizards did the right thing by getting rid of him, man. And like I said, I did feel bad for Luka, because Luka really, really needed somebody to be there. Here's the funny thing. Well, what if Porzingis is still there? I don't think they would have made it to the final. I don't think they would have made it to the Western.
It might have been a little bit closer, but Golden State still would have won.
You know how when you take away, you ever play Final Fantasy and you can see when you change a weapon, you can see your attack goes up or something goes down.
Yeah.
It was like that with Porzingis. Porzingis had to go. Real talk. If I was Dallas, that was the right move to do. Get rid of him.
Wizards has been a good spot for him so far.
Like that, like I said, that would be good for him because clearly he's in the mode of, look, I already know where I'm going to be for the rest of my career. If y'all want to build around me, y'all want to use me as a component, fine. Yeah, that's where he's at. So losing him wasn't a big ass deal, but you did kind of lose something in him when you trade him off. So I don't say that was going to make him better, but good God, he needed another motherfucking shooter out there.
Woo, because Dinwiddie can only do so much.
Say what you will about Porzingis, but that motherfucker would at least try to shoot himself out of a slump. Yo, get the fuck out of here, yo. But that's how they lost that shit.
And then we get to the finals, and at first I was getting a little worried because Boston stole one at Golden State, and I was like, oh shit. Boston, holy fuck, okay.
Shit was underwhelming for me. That was again got me. It was all underwhelming.
You really think it's okay? Define underwhelming, because what irks me when I hear that, it's not you. I feel people say that shit. It's like, oh, because there wasn't no big superstars. I'm like, does it have to be though?
I'm not talking about that. Well,
okay.
Motherfuckers got that stupid shit. No, what made this underwhelming to me was clearly it was one of those things where there could have been a matchup, but it wasn't going to happen. The matchup that the games that we wanted from this wasn't going to happen. The teams are so inconsistent. I will say this. It was interesting to see how powerful the Warriors were compared to the Boston. Because game 5 did Boston did their best. They had these motherfuckers shut down all the way to the third quarter. Beginning of the third quarter, it's 70. I got it wrong, but it's like 72-77. Boston's up. They would then commence to not making no shots for the next 9 fucking minutes. Chris, I looked at it twice. It wasn't their fault. Everything they threw up just didn't go in. It was stupid. If you look at the shot selection that they did, it wasn't like they were putting up stupid shots. It wasn't like it was crowded. Why'd you do it? They was just missed. They were bricking shit. It went cold. It was odd.
Our boy Patrick said it best, because I made a comment. I'm not one of those people that bitches about people throwing up threes, but I still am of that school of thought where it's like, go for the easy shots, right? You could go for the 2. You don't have to go for the 3, but I understand it. And Patrick said it best. Warriors at times lulled Boston into thinking that they had to shoot a 3.
Yeah, that's what good 3-point teams do to you. They get you to that point where, because it's so easy for them to hit a 3, they get you in that mode of thinking all you gotta do is hit a 3. You get up on us, psych, gloom, gloom.
Because Golden State, I think it was game 4 when they tied it up, where Golden State was shooting 2s. Just bank shots and everything. I was like, they're not shooting 3s.
I think that was game 4. They kept it. It was in Boston. Yep. They kept it very basic on them niggas, man, and just lulled them motherfuckers to sleep. I was like, yo, they didn't even hit 3s on you. Steph didn't even bust y'all niggas open like that.
It was it was layups and jump shots, and I'm like,
jump shots and hard fouls. That's all it was.
Then all of a sudden, Klay Thompson just out of nowhere awakened and shot a 3, and I was like, well, that's game tied fucking series.
Man, look. Fuck Klay Thompson for here on out with D.
Wow. Is it because he's light skinned, D? Is that what it is?
No. Why did you take it to the basics?
I don't know.
There's a myriad of reasons of hating that corny yellow nigga. You all right now? But yeah. I'm saying when it comes to it, like, yo, Klay, fuck you. You are no longer all R&D's book. And I say this in the nicest way, because that injury took a lot out of him, and this season
back-to-back injuries.
This season proved it to me. This season proved to me that he is he's still a good shooter.
Mm-hmm.
He is not the same defender. He doesn't have the same drive, and I'm not saying the same drive to play the big game of basketball. Fuck out of here. I'm saying he doesn't drive to the hoop the same way. He doesn't play the game the same way. We're seeing a diminished Klay, and we're going to be seeing that for the rest of his career. He doesn't have to be great at this point, which is okay, which is fine. I understand that shit. But I had to see a nigga that I hated fucking shut me up from mid-season on, and you played the background. Andrew Wiggins did way more than him. When
Dude,
Andrew
I mean,
Wiggins stepped up, I was like, oh yeah, Clay no longer that nigga no more.
Wiggins and Jordan Poole. That is like a
Jordan
lot
Poole
of.
showed up. You know what? Jordan Poole shut me the fuck up because I really thought he was going to be meh in the NBA.
Here's the funny thing.
Look, he still might turn into Nick Young, but
Don't
he's
do that.
all right.
Here's
He's
the
all
funny
right for
thing.
right now.
Here's the funny thing.
At least he got a ring, nigga.
There are people that I follow that are like they're not the hot take Skip Bayless. These are people that follow sports and know all the intricacies of these players. I remember when the Warriors got Jordan Poole, and somebody was like, "Poole is going to be a problem," and that's a nice addition to the Warriors that nobody's talking about. And they didn't say Wiggins, it was Poole. And I was like, all right. And then as the playoffs kept going, I was like, damn, Poole is stepping the fuck up. Like, goddamn. And then Wiggins pretty much shut everybody up.
I was noticing Jordan towards the end of the season.
Mhm.
Toward the end of the season, that's when they really started using him a lot. He really was the replacement for Clay. And because Steph, despite him not having the ability of Allen Iverson, he is the Allen Iverson type, which is he's a guard. Is he a point guard? No, he's a guard. Is he a shooting guard? He's a guard. So you can match up a point guard with him, you can match up a shooting guard with him. Doesn't matter. It's gonna work with him. So you had to get somebody that's gonna be in the flow of the offense with him. Jordan Poole is like I said, I don't know how much. Like I said, I'm dead serious when I say I see a lot of Nick Young in him, but that's a good thing also because I thought Nick Young had like all-star potential. You know what I mean?
Yeah, potential. And then
I will say this: Draymond is. Well, I was talking to my boy Greg, my boy Burnham, and this nigga Greg he said it perfectly. He is a fucking liability. He is just all the way, not an offensive liability because he is, not a defensive one because he is even on that. That nigga's an all the way liability. You can't trust that nigga with a ball. You can't.
I can't.
You can't. You can't.
But here's the thing.
That nigga with the ball.
But yet he does make a difference in swaying what happens in games.
He's a body. He's a fucking body. He disrupts shit. He's a body. Here's the funny thing. In the NBA, because in the NBA, you're not allowed to have these niggas no more. But guess what he is? He's a goon.
He's a goon that knows how to play
the fucking role, Chris.
Yeah.
He's a bum, but the nigga plays his role. He got 4 rings. I can't say shit about him. How you think I fucking feel, bro?
I mean, look, I think I had a greater appreciation for Draymond when he did that sit down with JJ Redick and kind of broke down everything and say he talked about the whole 3-1 breakdown, and he basically said it boiled down to just mental.
Yeah, I'm like when
that whole thing was mental, but he did say he didn't outright admit what you were saying about them needing KD against LeBron, but he did say, "Hey, we need to make a jumpstart change with this team. That's going to help." And KD was one of the start of it. But in my head, I was sitting back and I was like, you didn't necessarily admit you needed KD for LeBron, but you pretty much admitted, but you admitted it in a way.
That's the thing. Because basketball is is still masculine ass sport. You can't say certain shit to niggas and be like, nah, nigga, nah. You a man, do it by yourself type shit. Which is dumb. It's a team sport. But that's the thing. I have to straighten this out, Chris. I am not of the idea of these super teams and everybody, but you make a super squad. Look, shut the fuck up. You're making a squad. Bro. And just so happens, if you got all the aces, then god damn it, you got all the aces. You know what I mean?
I mean, even KD admitted that there is different. When you're on a super team, the dynamic is definitely different versus just a regular team.
And here's the thing also, and I really, this is why I like Steve Kerr as a coach. You know how hard it is to keep a team like that together and keep them fucking functional without ripping each other's throats out.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard, man. That's fucking hard. But I'm always I don't fall into the whole thing of a super team. Now I will say this: when somebody's presence is as big as LeBron, yeah, you're fighting LeBron. Yeah, I know. Kyrie was there. I know Kevin Love was there. I know Jordan Clarkson was there. I know who was on this fucking squad. I know JR was there. But
Mm-hmm.
let's just be real. Who was the nigga that you was scared of on that court? LeBron James. You had no answer for him. So when LeBron came back and beat him that second time, it hit him like, fuck. This nigga could very well come back here again and beat us
Let me ask you this though.
again.
But let me ask you this
Thank
though.
God they had KD. That's all I'm saying.
But let me ask you this though. What made Dallas different in beating Miami that had a LeBron and
age. And I don't know why everybody.
because Dallas, other than
That nigga
Dirk, who
wasn't
else
30
was on?
years
Who else?
old yet. That
Who
nigga
was on?
wasn't 30 years old yet.
Okay, I mean, who
And
else was
what
on
hap-
Dallas at that time? I'm trying
It
to
was just
remember.
it was Dirk. God, no, Mike Finley retired by then. D. God damn. Oh shit. He retired by then too. D. Who was on that squad?
Hold on, what
Fuck
year was
me.
what year was that?
That was 11. That wasn't 11. That was 10. 10. It wasn't 10. It was 12. 12.
Hold
Hold
on,
on.
hold on.
So you got me though. They see that every time somebody brings up that one, I don't see that being more of LeBron's.
2011.
2011. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. LeBron wasn't even 30 yet, yeah.
Okay, all right.
And niggas
No,
bring
but it's
that
just
shit up, and they bring that shit up
no.
big
I'm only
time,
bringing it
man.
up in the sense of like because if you at the end of the day, LeBron, it was LeBron, but LeBron on that Cavs team against the Warriors had like a good supporting cast to kind of back him up despite him beasting and stuff. So it's like in my head, I couldn't look at Miami like,
I
well,
was
LeBron
right.
was on the Miami, and so you know,
Jason Kidd, Dirk, Sean Marion, Brendan Hayward, Tyson Chandler,
damn, Brendan Hayward
Karam,
was on that
yep,
team.
Karam
Damn.
Butler, Corey Brewer, Jason Terry. I knew, and Paige. I forgot Paige Stojakovic was there, and Deshaun Stevenson.
Also,
All those
Page. Oh, that's right. Because I remember that year I said Pager finally got a championship. Yep, I remember now.
all those ex-Wizards on that fucking team.
Ex King.
Yeah, but still, that was but that squad, like to me, that was Dirk's. That was Dirk's year. And every time everybody brings up LeBron, they just eat like if you bring up LeBron in that whole little situation to me, it's just like, all right, feather in the cap, but it doesn't change the fact that Dirk had a baller ass year that year. Why do we focus on, oh man, JJ was killing LeBron that game? What about Dirk? Like that's how I feel about it. Whatever.
Yeah, but anyways, but no, and it's not to say that the Warriors winning this it diminishes it because of who they were playing. No, the Warriors basically they did the damn thing this season, and they, we'll see next season. Hopefully, they keep all their pieces together.
I didn't say I will say this. I didn't think they would win the finals, but I did have Steph being my MVP of the year. I thought he was just the best player of the year just period. So him winning the finals MVP, shit, hell yeah.
Everybody said that he had to ball out in game 6, or else it was going to be Wiggins getting that shit, which is the truth because that's because if Wiggins balled out and Steph had an okay game, Wiggins was getting that finals MVP.
Yeah, that one. I get where everybody's seeing that. Yeah.
I mean, zero lies on that one, but it is what it is. I'm hoping that Boston can kind of take away from this and make some adjustments. Hopefully they don't destroy that team because I think they have a good solid team on their hands. Yeah, so D looks like Bradley Beal might be testing out free agency, which
I was waiting on
yay
that.
For the Wizards, I guess.
I think I think it was one of those things that had to happen for him mostly because I think Bradley had to come to that realization that there wasn't going to be a whole lot he can do or get while he was on the Wizards making that type of money.
Yeah.
And I don't think the Wizards was like, I think it was more of like, look, I gotta let it go, let them grow, let me grow. and I think it was probably the best thing to do. Should have did it a year ago, but whatever.
Mm.
Here we are.
Where's he going?
So,
Where do you think he can go?
man, that's a good question. I don't think he's going to go where I think he's going to go. Meaning that I don't think he's going to go to a team that I think will help. Like,
because teams are gonna have to give up
God
something. Because it's not
forbid,
like
God
Bradley Beal is
forbid,
horrible or anything.
that's
He's
what I'm
actually pretty
saying.
good.
God forbid, though, this nigga ends up with Indiana or like
Clippers.
Oh, if he go on the Clippers, that's beautiful.
I mean, because I remember the
He
Clippers. I
go to
remember
the Clippers. I
I
don't
remember
think the
there was
Clippers can afford him.
I remember there was speculation that like, and this is like when we had John Wall before we traded him off to Houston, right?
Yeah,
And somebody was like, "Yo, we could probably get some people from off the Clippers, and the Clippers can have Beal and Wall." And I remember I was like, "That's a lot," because the Clippers would have to give up a lot because Wall costs a lot of money. Which, by the way, shouts to him fucking claiming his money. He didn't have to play a goddamn game this season.
nope. I mean,
he's been healing and chilling.
John is just destined on that. Like, I think that motherfucker's gonna get signed to the Wizards on a rock bottom price, and he's gonna retire. It's gonna be so fucking funny.
But
he's
yeah,
gonna play like 16 games and then retire. It's gonna be funny as shit.
I can see Bradley going to the Clippers, but they would have to give up something.
Not even giving up. Remember, he's on free agency, so they got to just sign him up front. I don't think they have the money to get him.
You don't think so? You don't think they're gonna do what the Warriors is doing and just say fuck that luxury tax and just get him anyway?
Dumping some people. I can see a couple people doing that. Somebody said they could see the Lakers doing that. And I was like,
Lakers are already in a disarray situation at this point.
I was like, yeah, they really are because LeBron is already saying, I'm not re-signing.
hey, LeBron.
I'm playing this last year. I'm not re-signing with nobody with y'all. Hey, so that means he's already moving out, yeah.
Hey, LeBron, not a hater or anything, but come to the Wizards. Throw some money at you.
I mean, I don't know what he's going to do. I don't know where he's going to go, man.
I don't know. It's Beal is weird. It's like if there was any team I could see him going to, and maybe they might pay him, I could see him going to Miami.
I see him actually. Everybody says Miami. I think he's going to go to like real talk. I think he's going to end up like maybe Orlando.
The Magic, damn.
Yeah, I see. Like if they like, I don't know because the Magic they kind of fucked themselves in the salary cap. So I'm not really sure if they can get him. But I could like real talk. If you told me Bradley went to Detroit, I'll believe it because there are people there. Who's it? Squad and Cade Cunningham. There's those two and probably like maybe one other name up there you might probably like and say, hey, I probably could do something with these young Bama's. But I don't know about that. I don't see him going to like the Pelicans. I don't see him going to the Nuggets. Like, you know what I mean? I just see it's going to be a team where real talk, he ain't gonna like it.
Yeah,
I just know it's gonna be a team he ain't gonna like, man.
Or he goes to the Grizzlies.
That'll be great. That'll be great. I don't think they can afford. Again, like I said, I don't know if they can afford him, but if you can, sure, I can see him going to like the Spurs.
Yeah. Which by the way, I think we talked about it in the chat on Facebook. The NBA adding Seattle and another team to kind of expand out, which I said that would just mean that the Grizzlies and the Pelicans might just end up on the East Coast, which they should, because it's weird to me that an East Coast team is in the West of the conference, and I'm like, you're on the East Coast though.
Like, I think what they're going to go ahead and do is they're going to add Las Vegas as a city.
Yeah, it's Vegas and Seattle.
I was going to say because and I think I told y'all this in the chat. They've been looking at Vegas for a while. Remember when they did the All-Star game in Vegas all those years ago? Mm-hmm. I remember there was a lot of buzz then. They was like, we could try to get a team out here, but who's
got a football team now?
That's what I'm saying. Who's going to be the team? And remember, this was still during that. I think this was either right before the Hornets came out of Katrina, because of Hurricane Katrina, where they went to Oklahoma.
To Charlotte.
Yeah, they went from New Orleans to Oklahoma. Yeah. It was around that time too, and I remember there was just a lot of talk of Las Vegas, and one of the teams that came up, and they were very serious about it, and of course nothing came out of it, was the Orlando Magic. So It might be a little bit different now because I think the Magic are kind of owned by Disney now, but I'm not really sure if they are. I think they're
Yeah.
just sponsored by Disney. I don't think Disney owns them. That's a good question. I'm gonna look that up right now.
But
But yeah.
speaking of the Pelicans, we got a surprise, D. I
Uh-oh.
just want to show this to you. Looks like one Zion decided to drop weight. He in shape now.
Oh yeah, I seen that. This dude is actually in the gym. He's actually doing actually working out and all that. Good for him, man.
Now, it's a commercial, but apparently he has been hitting the gym, and I'm like, all right. I mean,
Hey,
good for him. We'll see what happens, how that translates to the Pelicans. See how that works out. Yeah, man, it's
but
yeah.
good for him. No, they're not owned by. Thank God, I had to look that up. They're not owned by. They're owned by RDV Sports down there. Down actually, it's a corporation out of Michigan, but they own the Magic and they own the WNBA team down there. But I seen him. Him at least trying to get in shape and all that. At least it's him trying to get serious about it again because a lot of people really don't think he has the desire to play.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go this far. I don't think he wants to play in New Orleans. I'm going that far. I don't think he wants to be in New Orleans no more. The simple and plain. And New Orleans, they're not going to give him up.
Yeah, they would have to give up a lot. Basically, the GM for the Warriors basically came out and said the obvious shit. Hey, I'm doing my best to keep everybody in, get everybody back. Which I'm like, well, yeah, you should.
It's your only best chance of getting another championship.
I mean,
because that door is about to rapidly close soon, man.
Hey, look. Second off, shout out to Gary Payton II. I thought that he probably had one of the best stories from the NBA coming from the G League, and then the Warriors picked him up, and he's been delivering big time for him.
Yeah, I think him and Andrew had probably the best stories coming out the finals.
Yeah.
The one shout out I had to say for the playoffs had to be actually Giannis.
Yep.
And the reason why I say that is because when I saw how the finals went out, I said to myself, y'all lucky Giannis wasn't there. Oh my God.
I think the dynamics of if Giannis let me ask you this. If Giannis because Milwaukee lost to Boston, right? Okay. Let's say Milwaukee had beat Boston. Do you see them sweeping Miami, or do you think Miami would have been a problem?
That would have been a tough series. The reason why is because you saw how Milwaukee was playing, man. It was just Giannis, man. They was really gassing it, man. The whole team was tired or somewhat hurt. They didn't have Chris Middleton out there, man. It was a lot that was missing.
Do you think that would have been enough time to get Chris? But you think that would have been enough time to get Chris Middleton?
I don't know how long he would have been out though. I'll be honest with you. I don't know how long his injury was. Be honest with you. But
that's the only thing you can hope, because when Gary Payton II was out, I think the Warriors realized yo, this dude was actually a pretty good player for us, and we're missing him.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta of course you do, man. That's what I'm saying. I really think if the Bucks were at 90%, they would have did real damage. You know what I mean? Yeah. Real damage, man.
We saw them beat the shit out of the Suns in the NBA finals, and I'm like, shit.
Oh man. Speaking of which, I just love the fact that the Suns were just the best wet fart of the year.
Let me tell you something. I ain't gonna lie. I
love how they went out.
I bought into the hype, and then when they fucking just dismantled against the Mavericks, I was like, what the fuck?
Boy, I loved it. Then here come Patrick Beverly out of nowhere.
Here's the sick part. D. Let's say Phoenix didn't drop the ball against the Mavericks. Golden State would have exposed their ass.
They still would have got exposed. That's my problem. I think everybody just likes the idea of Phoenix. I don't think nobody really looks at how good they are.
It's like on paper, they look like they can't be stopped.
Exactly. Right? the year that it was Gary Payton and Karl Malone and all those people that was on the Lakers.
Mhm.
I was saying that to everybody else. Do y'all see what I see?
On paper, that should be a fucking crazy ass team that nobody can stop.
Again,
But then
did
Detroit
y'all
came
see what
in.
I see?
But then Detroit came in and was like, "Yeah, they're just regular motherfuckers. We could beat them."
That didn't shock me. Look, that's the thing that killed me though, Chris. It didn't shock me at all how Lakers got fucking busted.
I mean,
That
look,
didn't shock me. And I'm like, again, how did nobody else see this shit coming?
and the sick part was that there were two teams out of the East that had a big chance to actually beat the shit out of the Lakers. It was going to be Indiana, because Indiana had a fucking squad. Metal World Peace, Jermaine O'Neal, bruh. They had the fucking team.
If I'm mistaken, the
Jaylen Brown.
Yeah. I think the Bucks at that time were still good too.
Yeah.
So like dog.
That team, it was either going to be Indiana or Detroit that year that was going to beat the shit out of the fucking Lakers. They had Karl Malone and Gary Payton.
That was going to happen. That was going to fucking happen, man.
I ain't gonna lie. I bought into it until I saw the playoffs. I'm like, this Lakers team,
them niggas sputtered through the whole playoffs.
It didn't feel like when you hear Karl Malone and Gary Payton, right? Especially back then, in my head, I was like, damn, Lakers should be like sweeping people. But then the playoffs hit, and I was like, Lakers are not really the super people team that I thought they were.
This is gonna be really weird. See, it was one thing to see Karl Malone and Zoe get big and do that slow back down, turn around, one-handed skyhook type shit. It's one thing to see that shit. I am not ready to see Giannis year 14.
Dude,
overweight.
You think Giannis gonna be overweight?
Hold on. Leaning on Gilbert Arenas Jr.
Sir,
I had to throw out a basketball player. It didn't matter.
Sir, that'll be Gilbert Arenas the third. All right.
Yeah. Like that nigga, like I say, that nigga overweight. Like I'm not ready. Like I'm just saying, it's just so funny to see. When I think of Karl Malone, I think I'm on the motherfucking Jazz and how fucking this nigga was just like I tell this to everybody. He like imagine LeBron James that didn't quit on defense. That was Karl Malone. And hold on, think of Karl Malone on offense if he didn't have an off button. That's how LeBron is to me. He's the perfect version of Karl Malone. And it just kind of get me that Karl, when he got to the Lakers, was such he was an 82 in my book.
that dude got to the Lakers, and I knew why he went to the Lakers. It's like, fuck it, I need a ring.
Man, I gotta get this ring, man.
Gary Payton, I knew because it's Gary fucking Payton. He's gonna do some shit like that. Of course he is.
Gary tried to jump at a chance, thought he had one, so he went over to. He found good for him going to Miami. He got that one in Miami, then sat his ass down. So
yeah. Hey, look. You talk about Gary. You talk about Karl Malone. People. It was funny when we talked about that NBA 75 list, right? And somebody mentioned John Stockton. It's like, John Stockton. I was like, dude, guys, you don't understand. Like, John Stockton ran that fucking Utah Jazz team as a point guard. Like, that's why he's the best.
True. Now, here's the funny thing, though. I do say this, and I got this from the young nigga I was talking to. He told me. He was like, that's all well and good, but when is that going to stop mattering? Because he didn't win nothing.
I mean, even some best players never won anything. I mean, that's the thing. It's like we can go with rings, but like,
you're right.
Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl, but he's still the fucking greatest goddamn quarterback ever.
Sure. Until I mentioned John Elway, until I mentioned Phil Simms, until I mentioned Troy Aikman, who all got rings, by the way.
Yeah, but he's still. But the thing of it is, we still give respect to Dan Marino without like throwing slander at him at the same time. That's the thing.
Look. The point is that the point is though, I kind of like just wonder at that shit every now and then like.
But I mean,
that's a bit of a good point. Like because if we can look at somebody like George Mikan and go, nigga, you was going against garbage men and shit. Sure.
It's like I like CP3, but
When are
it's
we
like
going to get to that point in athletic in the NBA where we can say what John Stockton did was basic bullshit? I don't think we're there just yet. I don't
well,
think we're
here's the
there
thing.
yet.
If CP3 won a championship, then we could talk about John Stockton. The problem is CP3, great as a point guard he is, well, you're with the Suns and y'all haven't done shit.
Hey man, look. I think he's destined on not winning a ring. I think it's destined for him not to win a ring.
You know what, D? You
I
say
think
that, and you're right. You're right
destiny.
because there are some players that it's just like it's not in the cards for them to win the championship.
You'll never get it.
It's
You'll
weird. It's
never get
fucked
it.
up. It's to say, but it's like fuck, damn.
Like I'm gonna laugh next year when whoever wins and we all go, oh yeah, Carmelo was on the bench. That's gonna be the funny thing.
Oh, like it was when we found out Juwan Howard was on the bench for Miami, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh shit, he
Same
was
thing gonna
playing,
have
wasn't he?
like the White when it happened with the White House, we all knew the White House was there, so that didn't
Yeah,
count.
yeah.
But still, man, I have a feeling that oh yeah, that nigga was on the bench. You know,
Chris Webber, unfortunately, was a victim of that.
see what I'm saying? He never
Great
got
ass player, and it's just like
never got
now.
that
Granted,
shit.
we know it was refs that kind of basically fucked him over, but hey.
Oh yeah, we know that definitely. We know that definitely. Like, who's playing right now?
If I had to,
I guarantee you, if when he becomes a vet, we're going easy. Yeah, Jordan Clarkson was on it. Yeah, he was. That nigga didn't even play, man. Austin was on that team. Austin Rivers was on that team. I forgot he was. Like, you know what I'm saying? We totally forgot that nigga was on the bench.
it might end up being old boy from off Boston. What's his face? Al Horford.
I don't think Al Horford's leaving Boston. I think he's retiring in Boston.
No. I'm talking about he might not get a championship.
No. That door is probably swinging closed very fast. It really does matter how Boston comes out next year.
If they come out swinging strong and they still keep their core players, all right, they got a shot.
I think they got a shot. I'm not saying that they can win it, but I definitely put them in the running for that shit because I think this year really proved that they were that squad, man. They were, they were that squad and all the rest of that shit. Grant, like I said, you didn't play the Bucks 100%, but you did go to these tough teams though. So whatever. And you took a couple off. You took a couple off the Warriors. So good for you.
Now, on the NFL front, our boy Deshaun Watson has gone 20 for 24. Selling his lawsuits.
Wow.
It's like, did he just take the money that was guaranteed from out of the Browns and said, "Fuck it, let's pay these chicks so I can get back on the field"?
I think here's the sick part about this. He kind of had no choice but to do that.
Yeah.
He kind of had no choice but to do that. They're not going nowhere.
Might as well go ahead and pay him off and get him out your hair.
You might as well go ahead.
Not saying it's right, but
here's the thing. That's the thing. Actually, I love that, Chris, because I am. The older I get, the more I understand this shit. That is not an admission of guilt.
That's just I don't want to go into it. So here's some money.
Settlement is a admission of guilt. Is a flex of the wealthy and rich. Yes, it is. But it's a flex you can use because even niggas that own dry cleaning businesses can settle out of court. So, you know what I mean? So, my thing is this. That's not an admission of guilt. And we on our Working Title Sports Show, we don't just accuse a body of anything. Deshaun did this shit. Deshaun did this shit. He did this shit, and he can't get out of it, Chris. Oh my God!
He still got 4 more before he's finally kind of sort of out of it.
I know what somebody said. You just contradict yourself. Oh no, nigga, this is Working Title Sports Show. We are a fan show. We can get away with saying
all I'm saying is
dumb shit like this every now and then.
All I'm saying is, out of the 24. I'm gonna say he did 5 of that shit.
Dog, look, it ain't that. Don't look, Chris. It's more than that. Chris. I hate to hit you with a shit, Chris. It's more than that because it was like 60-something women that came out. Remember that?
Oh shit!
You remember some more women came out, nigga. So, dog,
Oh, he did that shit. Yeah, he did that shit.
I told you he had no choice but to settle out of court, bro. And and look, like I said, I know what it looked like. They ain't no admission of guilt, though. That is not no admission of guilt. He had no choice but to do that, bro. I feel all right. Look, which one me to tell you?
But on the sad front, Baltimore Ravens lost a man, Tony Saragusa.
You know what? You know what? Goose passing. I had to look it up because I thought it felt weird because I hate this, man. When it comes to death, I've been noticing how quickly it happens. And the shit that gets me was he was just on Twitter laughing at Joe Biden falling on his bike. And so that guy kind of got me like, damn, that nigga didn't know he was gonna die a day later. You know what I mean? Like, shit. Like you was talking shit about Joe Biden. Look at you. He outlived you. So you know what I'm saying? It's fucked up. And I didn't mean to say it like that. But no, Tony Saragusa was so underrated as a Baltimore Raven. We knew him because we were here in the DC area. We knew who Tony Saragusa was. Motherfucker was a problem.
I mean,
real problem.
he was very okay, so when we talk
Goose
about
was
like
there. That's what I say. He was there.
We talk about like, we grew up in that era where we talk about like the rough NFL defensive guys, the ones that they'll tackle you and your eyes will roll behind your head because you might be shaking on the ground after a tackle. You can't do that shit anymore now, obviously. But Saragusa was from that era. Because he tackled, I think, what quarterback did he tackle? The quarterback for the Raiders, and when he tackled him, separated that dude's shoulder, and I was like, fuck. Like, you can't do that shit anymore in today's NFL, tackling a fucking quarterback like that. No, you cannot do that.
The one thing that struck me about Tony Saragusa that was really cool was, number one, that was a cool ass Ravens team that won that Super Bowl.
Woo! That was a lot of vets.
A lot of vets, a lot of personalities. You had Shannon Sharp there, Ray Lewis. You had the coach, Bullock. My God, amazing. Like I said,
your boy, was it who was the quarterback?
God, who was the quarterback? It wasn't Dilfer at the time. I'm not Dilfer.
No, Dilfer. It was Dilfer.
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. See, now you gotta be fucked up, nigga. No, you gotta be fucked up. But that whole team, man, that was a fun little Ravens team, and I remember, like I said, I remember him more than anybody. I remember him on the defense more than anybody else. Especially and the funny thing was this. Funny thing was when he made it to the sideline reporting, he was one of the people I liked the most. I looked forward hearing Kenny Albert, Moose and motherfucking Goose. That's what they did. They rhymed that shit. Moose and Goose was on the same commentary team. So it'd be, like I said, Darren Johnson, who to me is one of the better top 5 color guys in the NFL. You have him. Oh, we go down to the sideline and talk to Tony Saragusa. Yeah, I'm down here. So did you see that tackle? This is where he messed up at. I loved it. Oh, I loved it. Yeah.
The quarterback was one Elvis Gerback.
Elvis
Gerback.
I knew it. I forgot about it.
Elvis Gerback.
Yeah, I knew it, Blank. Because here's the funny thing. For D, my wires get crossed with Elvis Gerback and motherfucking Jeff George. And for whatever weird reason, when I heard that name, everything twisted for me. I was like, what the fuck?
Hold on, was Jeff George the one that ran into the sign for the Redskins?
No, that was not Vinny Testaverde, Gus Farrat.
I'm sorry. This is sickening. I'm a Cowboys fan, but I'm saying, me and D have said it countless times. There have been so many ridiculous shit that goddamn team has done.
Shit was beautiful, bro.
My man went headfirst into the wall and got injured. I'm like, after scoring a touchdown.
No, that was Trent Dilfer's team, dog. That was Trent Dilfer's team.
But Trent Dilfer was the backup to Gerback.
Well, whatever. So look at this. Trent Dilfer. I'm just going to bring Brandon Stokely, Shannon Sharp, Priest Holmes, Sam Adams, Tony Saragusa, Michael McCray was my nigga, Peter Boulware, Ray Lewis, Rod Woodson, Chris McAllister, Dwayne Starks. Nigga, That was a mean ass squad, man.
Okay, so yeah, Dilfer was the quarterback and Gerback was the backup.
Was the
My bad.
backup.
My
But
bad.
still,
My bad. My
but yeah,
bad.
but I always got to know Jeff George was the bum ass quarterback for the Redskins. that had half a good year and then he like quit or some bullshit. I don't fucking
Yeah.
care or remember. But anyway,
But yeah, but Tony Siragusa, man, when I heard that, I was like, they haven't said what happened with him dead. He
only
could
thing I seen is they said he received a CPR, so it probably was like a heart attack or something.
heart attack. I mean, that was a big guy.
He was a big guy, still was a big guy, man.
Still was.
Sad, man. He will be missed, man. He was a real big, bright dude. Like I said, I love hearing that motherfucker on the sideline. I haven't heard him in like a season or so, though, man. So,
Yeah.
that was kind of weird. I just haven't heard him.
Lastly, Hugh McKelney died 93 natural causes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Rushed for he played for Minnesota, New York, and Detroit. And he was basically he had a good run with he basically started out in San Francisco. So, but yeah, 5,281 yards, 38 touchdowns, and a 13-year career. It's not bad. Not bad at all. Now speaking of Washington on the front, Roger Goodell came out and said he has no authority to remove Daniel Snyder as Washington Commanders owner.
Sure.
So he testified in front of Congress and said that he has no authority to remove Dan Snyder. And I'm like,
again, I say sure. Fucking sure, dude.
I mean, look. But I mean, look. We know by NFL rules that only 3/4 of ownership can vote to get an owner out.
All right, I hate to put it to you. If Jerry Jones says no, the whole room's saying no.
That too, we know that because
So that's the thing. I don't know why Jerry hasn't flipped the whole room on Daniel yet. I don't know. I don't know if it's like solidarity amongst owners or something. It's weird, bro. And I hate
it. Jerry sees the glint in his eyes of Snyder could be me. I like that.
I'll tell you something, Daniel. I hated every second of seeing you. But these last few days of ducking the media, looking at people of Congress and telling them that I'm more powerful than you. Hell, son, I'm actually impressed.
I really feel he feels that way about Dan Snyder.
So me and Bobby have been talking about it for a while, and the owners back you up. Do you mean it, Mr. Jones? Nah, I'm just saying this, just right now. Just play it cool, it'll be okay, all right? I'm gonna tell Bobby and the boys, all right? But yes, somebody asking, do you mean Bob? Fucking right, I mean Bob. If there's two people that run that whole fucking room, it is Jerry Jones and his bestie Bob Kraft. Okay, actually, I don't know if they're besties. I'm just gonna say when it comes to the ownership, when it comes to the owners, when they walk into the room, they're the only ones that say, "What's up, bitch? Hey, bitch." They're the only ones that say that to each other.
So yeah,
you see all these poor niggas in here. I know, bitch. Yo, did you see the motherfucking nigga from the Seattle Seahawks? I know that nigga ashy. That's how they act. That's how they both act. They have that one thing in common. They have more money than Jesus. So
I mean, so also on the other end with Dan Snyder, apparently he conducted shadow investigations to bury findings of probes into the organization, which I'm like,
was so
are you really surprised?
So funny how they try to bring that up, man. The Washington Post is like, bitch, we told y'all about this 2 like
weeks ago.
Years ago, nigga. Like, yo, we been told you this nigga was doing this shit.
You want to know why? Because it got buried underneath all the other all the other sports news. Nobody really give a fuck.
Man. I told this to somebody and I was being funny, but I really fucking mean it. You ever see the show You ever see the show Blacklist? Yeah. Shit like that happens in DC every goddamn day. But you'll be surprised of where the source comes from. Sometimes it ain't the politician. Sometimes it's the owner of the fucking Washington Commanders.
And again, it
having investigators out, making sure niggas don't talk, yeah.
And again, that shit will be in the Washington Post, but it'll be buried under like the Metro section or like page 5 of like the front page, and it's like
it is so funny how at least every writer every writer, that came to work for the Washington Post has said some spurious shit about this fucking squad. And for whatever reason, Daniel is still in that fucking building, yo. It's fucking sad, man.
Daniel, Mr. One Daniel Snyder is going to be there front and center for
Teflon.
game one, game one of the Commanders game of the NFL season with his arms folded like fucking Darth Vader and shit at the end of Rogue One,
I know,
fucking
right?
staring at the Death Star like I won,
God,
I won.
I don't know, I feel like he's standing there like Big Boss was at the end of all Snake Eater, just smiling, just sitting there hit with that fake smile, looks out the window, sees motherfucking Jerry Jones giving that point like Ocelot did.
Yeah.
Like,
Now,
I really feel that Daniel Snyder is more of a puppet than we realize, because I feel like all his bullshit is running some defense for whatever little fucked up shit the NFL is doing right now. That's all, whatever, man.
so on the other front, in the you're full of shit talk, Gronkowski is retiring, but somebody pointed out his what's this guy his agent basically said, oh, he's retiring, but if Tom Brady were to call him, I can't confirm or deny that he'll come back. And I'm like,
I don't know if you're full of shit or Gronk's full of shit now, man, because you saying that makes me feel like, okay, shut up, dude. You just did that to give your boy that little extra tweets. That's all you did that for.
here's what they do.
And then the flip side of it makes me really think like Gronk is like, yeah, I'm retiring. Hello? Yeah, Tom.
I'll play.
All right, I'm playing tomorrow, guys. Like, I feel that.
It's the fucking Brock Lesnar schedule. Like, he just gets called and he only have to play all 18 games of the NFL.
The nigga only plays NFL South games. He only plays division games, nothing else.
That motherfucker 33 years old, dude. He don't look 33 at all.
No, Gronk, his bones is probably at 54 at this point. I'm not even joking, man. I'm actually.
You ain't lying.
I'm worried. Like, some players, I worry for their life in the sense of your long term life. For example, actually, this feel for Joel Embiid.
Oh yeah.
Feel for him. That played on a torn meniscus for a whole fucking season. So I'm like, yo, what fucking damage did you do to yourself?
I'm just saying,
when I was a kid, I got a Sports Illustrated when they show all the injuries, what happened to people when they get older, how it is. And there was in the cover, it had Johnny Unitas on it. No, the great Johnny Unitas. 3 of his fingers were missing.
Sheesh.
Yeah. He had to get his fingers amputated. They showed a couple of, I don't want to name names and say the wrong things, but you saw guys had their foot amputated, guys had a whole half their leg amputated. Some guys that said I got to be in a wheelchair for the rest of my life. And it was talking about Jerome Bettis, who was still playing at the time, talking about how he had no cartilage in his knee. So
which the cartilage in the
with
the cartilage in the knee thing, it's something that happens even in the NBA.
Yeah, and that happens in the NBA too. I forgot they had an NBA player on there too. I think it was like Dana Barris or something. Somebody that was saying the same thing, that his ankles was rubbing on bone. And nigga, I was like 14 reading this shit, nigga. So
and granted, we've gotten, and I think we've talked multiple times that I'm happy that, and even on the wrestling, whether it's NBA or NFL, I'm glad that sports medicine has gotten so much better that it can address those things before it gets bad.
Yeah, like even with wrestlers, good example. It sounds stupid, but seeing Ricky Garvin and Ric Flair in a ring does not bother me. That does not bother me. You know what bothers me? Seeing Jeff Hardy take a bump. That bothers me.
There's a
difference, bro.
It was a thing before Daniel Bryan got medical help.
Same thing with Daniel Bryan. Seeing Daniel take a bump is
before he basically broke down. Like, okay, if I'm going to come back, I need to go to different medical professionals to seek on what's the proper thing that can actually help me on concussions. Like, we've gotten better at concussions nowadays. Didn't used to be a thing way back in the day. We've gotten better at it to actually. There's like I forgot the name of the procedure, not procedure, but it's like it's the hyperbaric chamber, I think.
I think it is something
Yeah,
like
the
that.
hyperbaric chamber that it basically heals your brain.
Yeah, I think
Basically.
it's something like that, and I think it is a hyperbaric chamber, but
Yeah, yeah. It basically
yeah.
it heals your brain. Now, granted, a hyperbaric chamber isn't something that any old person can get. Like
Oh hell no, hell no.
you gotta have money, obviously.
I remember
So
Gilbert Arenas was talking about that because I think Kobe told him about it.
yeah.
And he was like, I'm getting a hyperbaric chamber. He walked out, he's like, man, I spend an hour in that thing, I get out the motherfucker. I'm like, whoa!
Yeah, I mean, it's like,
Oh
and I
yeah.
mean, it feels like you're a brand new person because it literally just heals you, like, boom, and that was the thing. That was the only reason why Daniel Bryan was able to come back to WWE because he his brain healed up. He wasn't getting concussions anymore. He was good. He was great, and like you said, he had to change up how he wrestled. That was another thing.
I think with like people like Gronk, I think Gronk just took enough hits.
Oh,
I
you
think
seen the
some
amount of
guys
he take for as tall as he is, he's definitely getting rocked.
I think he took enough hits. And I tell this to a lot of people. Like I gotta hear this from other guys. And look, Mike Allstott was my nigga too. We're not making Mike Allstotts no more.
No, we're not.
Ain't nobody's gonna take that punishment no more, man. Ain't nobody gonna take them concussions like that no more, bro.
Look, I
You know
like
what
Jason.
I
I
mean?
like Jason Witten, but Jason Witten was smart enough to be
Jason,
like, you know what?
hey,
Let me go ahead and slide on the ground. I ain't taking a fucking hit.
man,
You
who
bust
was
your
it?
butt.
The one person I learned what happened was I think it was on actually it was probably Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp said he had to run differently because he said, nah, if I do that, man, I'm shortening my whole career. Like, because sometimes, like, it's one thing to put your whole body into it, and then there's being stupid.
Oh, Witten
And
was like, nah, I ain't getting hit. Nope.
and I give it up to Shannon. He said, and Shannon said this, like, and what most coaches do, and what coaches are really good at, is convincing you. See that brick wall? You can go right through it, and you won't feel nothing. Come on. If you you want to win the game, right? Then let that brick wall hit you. And you see what I'm saying? So it's hard, like I feel for guys like especially your body takes so much punishment. Nah, man. I think with Gronk, it's like, yo, this is what happens when you ain't got a wife that cares about you.
Gronk is
Wrong for that.
6'6". I know his legs, knees,
Built like a
arm, and
brick shit
everything.
house. He is built like a brick shit house, but good lord, man.
I'm like, hey, Gronk, can you run with your kids?
That's the one thing that gets me, and that's why I want to change. That's why I'm changing up in my health too, because Dirk Nowitzki said it best. He said if I retired earlier, it would have been smarter because I could play soccer with my daughters. I can't play soccer with my daughters because my knees hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, and it makes you think. And I say it's kind of funny, and I always say it on this show. When the sports gods want their fucking payment, they want their damn payment. Okay.
Yep.
Even if you're one of the good people, they want their fucking payment. Dirk, you were a boon to the world. We love you. Give me your knees.
You got your NBA championship.
You got your ring. You
Here,
have your celebrity.
you have your
you have your African. I did want my African. You got your African.
Now the knees.
The knees, dick. That's how it happens. What about Michael Jordan? Michael Jordan did all right. No, he didn't. Michael, give me your wife. No, you can have my wife. Oh, okay.
Give me your fashion sense.
My what? Got me there too.
Damn, you're right. Because he still wear them long ass fucking pants still.
Give me your dignity. I don't want it. Shit.
Can you it's like, what can you give us, Jordan?
Like shit. Then what can you give him? My basketball knowledge? You sure? I'll be all right. Are you sure you don't want your basketball knowledge? I think you would still want that. What? No, I don't need it no more. I'm just gonna own the Wizards. Ain't like I'm gonna run anything. Okay, give me your basketball knowledge.
And we're go.
Like I said, when the sports gods cometh,
they cometh.
Think about it this way. Yes, Charles Barkley, we want you. Oh my God, what did you do to your body? What? Man, you are 370 pounds. But I don't want nothing from you no more. Oh, gambling problems.
and yet I love him and Shaq's like joking camaraderie on that shit.
You know,
It's hilarious.
speaking of which, they was talking about who was Draymond say he's part of the new media and shit. It's like, yo, Draymond, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. The new media is supposed to be players running their own shows and all that. No, you're not. You're part of this like third wave, okay? Number one. Number two,
You have a podcast. Who doesn't have a podcast, sir?
podcast. Number two, and I'm with JJ Redick on this one. That's a lot of talk for somebody ain't got nobody. That's a lot of talk for a motherfucker ain't got nobody putting his questioning his bias. Oh, it's real easy to talk about what went wrong in the game and how you see it, but who's checking you? Because you can say all day, well, man, I didn't have that good game. No. Who's the person there? Hey, man, you play like shit.
I mean,
who's the person that's putting your feet to the fire? No, see, it's real easy to talk that shit. And Chris, we can easily come on here and say, Redskins suck, Dallas good, and say it for the next 3 hours. You and I'll be fine with it. We can do that shit. But like I said, we can do that shit. We don't do that. Why? Because that's stupid. That's bias. Nigga, they don't give a fuck about that.
I mean,
so that's the only thing. I get where Draymond's coming from, but it's like, dog, you not up there, man. Because Charles Barkley beat you to that. Shaq beat you to that shit. You want to be really honest with you. O.J. Simpson beat you to that shit, but he fucked that up. So
I mean, it's like I would say, what's funny?
OJ.
What's funny about JJ is like him and what's his face. They had like a serious talk about what went wrong with that Clipper squad that they were on.
Oh, him and Patrick Beverly, yeah.
Yeah,
and give Patrick Beverly, he's going to be a part of it too. But I think Patrick Beverly, I will probably give him this. I think he'll be man enough to say, you know what, I'll go on ESPN.
No.
I'll work for them. I'll do that. I'll try to be an analyst there instead of just going on my own shit, having my own thing and all the rest of that. And there's nothing wrong. Let me get that very clear. There's nothing wrong with that. There's totally nothing wrong with having your own podcast, but there needs to be accountability there, and there needs to be somebody to keep it being from non-bias on your show. Yeah. Because outside of that, it's just you jerking your dick off, dog. And trust me, people will come to see it, but it ain't the crowd you want to come see it. It ain't the people that's gonna hold you accountable for being a journalist or having a word out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Especially when you say some spurious shit. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, because another thing, I don't think Draymond has pissed nobody else off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Man, I heard what you said in the podcast. Beep, 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 beep.
So lastly on the NFL news, the NFL is filing a motion to take that Brian Flores lawsuit and move it to arbitration. And you might be saying, what's arbitration? Basically, they want somebody there to negotiate an actual settlement, basically, essentially.
Yep.
Which you kind of knew this was going to happen because this. Look, does this mean that the NFL is guilty? I mean, can we use the same argument that we made for Watson in this case?
I kind of feel that way too. It's not an admission of guilt. It ain't, because it really ain't. It's not an admission of guilt. It's only thing you can do. Only thing you can say is like, personal opinion. They full of shit. That's all you can say. But legally, that's not an admission of guilt, though. They just wanted to go away.
Yeah, that's all it is. It's just, hey, go away.
Now, here's the thing. Is Brian Flores ready to say fuck no? Is his side ready to say fuck no?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah.
So,
so on the hockey front, at least one of the teams I knew was going to hit the Stanley Cup has made the Stanley Cup, but the other team I did not see coming. So, Stanley Cup finals. Tampa Bay versus Colorado, and Tampa Bay is down 1-3.
And this is the thing.
I did not see Colorado I did not see Colorado coming. I ain't gonna lie. I did not see that coming.
Oh, I should have, because the way they swept through the West was insane.
Woo!
These niggas has been on. Like, I wish. See, I hate this shit. Every fucking year with the playoffs, I always say, "This is why do I not pay attention?" Because then I look back, because the same shit happened with the Predators. Remember when Nashville won, and we was like, "Yo, what the fuck happened?" So,
I expected Tampa Bay to roll through the East, right, to get to the Stanley Cup. I expect that because Tampa Bay was on fire. Colorado, man. I was like,
I thought Florida.
I thought Florida
was actually going to try them, but nope.
Nah. Colorado though, I was like, Colorado, what?
Colorado, the Avalanche have been on a fucking roll the last 3 rounds, dog. I am not shocked that they up 3-1. Actually, here's the funny thing about that. Last time I saw it, it was up 2-0. And I was thinking like, they probably came back. I'm sorry, what? What?
3-1.
What?
Hey,
Every year when I close
the
my eyes on these niggas.
Colorado pretty much figured out Tampa Bay's weakness, which has always been a weakness. The Lightning suck at power plays.
Yeah, they've been eating them motherfuckers up, man.
So hey, look, we might be on the precipice this week of the Colorado actually winning the Stanley Cup.
So that might actually I think that would be their first or their second one. What it would be?
Might be the second one in this franchise.
I think so.
Hmm.
I think so. I'm trying to find this other joke real quick. Did you hear about the thing that's going on in golf right now?
What is happening in golf?
Oh, no, not that one. Live Golf. Okay. So basically, I'm going to give you the quick rundown. So the PGA are mad at all of these golfers who are going into business for themselves and joining this Saudi golf league called Live Golf.
Mm-hmm.
Or a live golf or whatever you call it, LIV golf, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
They're paying these guys ridiculous amounts of money.
Because it's Saudi blood money. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's Saudi blood money, but it's ridiculous amounts of money. One of the biggest contributors is one of the biggest people getting paid is our boy Phil fucking Mickelson.
Of course he is. D, are you shocked? Yes. I'm not shocked.
Yes, I forgot how much were they gonna pay this? They paying this motherfucker. I mean the money. Hold on, where live? God, money. Like, what's the contract? What was the contract for the motherfuckers?
Oh yeah, I see it. Kopka, who earned $38 million in his career, he got signed off for $100 million.
Yeah, they're getting signed. And homeboy that used to beef with Tiger Woods, he's a part of it too. That nigga got paid like $100 million. Phil Mickelson has reportedly got paid $200 million to be a part of this. Now, here's where the fun part comes. The PGA. Why are you taking all that money? Why are you taking all that money? How dare you not stay in the league and stay under our regulations? If you go over there, you can't come back. We're threatening your status a part of the PGA. Nigga, this is about to be a problem. Because, why, D? Because it comes even worse. Because that Saudi money, oh yeah, it's coming for the prince. Wait a minute, is that the same guy that killed that reporter? You fucking believe it?
The same reason why Vince consistently, sucks the dick of the Saudi prince. That money is fucking ridiculous.
So, and it gets even bigger.
Same Saudi prince that owns the shares of SNK and EA and shit too.
Because guess what? They're trying to actually hold. I mean, not trying to. They already have. They're signing esports teams left and right. Nigga, I'm saying this right now. The Saudis and the fucking Chinese are going to fuck it up for everybody. Niggas with money are weird. Like granted, white people ain't doing too great with it either. But I'm just saying.
I feel some of these players.
This is going to be
look.
Dog.
Here's the thing. From a player and self-preservation standpoint, I don't blame a Phil Mickelson taking $200 million because because from a self-preservation point, when am I ever going to see $200 million playing PGA golf?
McIlroy, by the way, won over. I mean, I think that was last weekend when he won. I think it was a week before last. That McIlroy, but they brought up McIlroy. McIlroy just said, "No, I'm not doing the shit," and I get why McIlroy is not doing the shit. Now they asked another dude who was, I think he was like ranked 40th. And they asked him, a dude who, like you said, made a low one. The most he made was like ever in a year was like 75,000. He's making 100,000. He's making almost 90 million this year.
Yeah, and again, that's self-preservation.
Who's gonna say no to that shit?
Yeah, because it's like, look, take the 90 million, and you can still improve. And hey, maybe you're not going to get that amount, but you can at least, if you're smart with your money, sit on that shit.
Dog,
like.
This is supposed to be a super league. It's going to be 72 courses. They found it last year. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The players signed up. No, show me the
I got it.
list of people.
I got the list right here. Phil Mickelson, Dustin
Mhm.
Johnson, Sean Norris,
Yup.
Oliver Becker, Kevin Yon, Justin Harding, Rachanan Chatanuwat, Chase Kopika, Wade Ornsby, Matt Jones, Ryosuke Kinoshita, Blake Windred, Martin Kamer, Pablo Lazarabal, JC Ritchie, Ian Sinman, Kevin Na,
Sergio Garcia. That's what I'm going to say. Sergio Garcia,
Scott
who I heard
Vincent,
is
Richard
getting.
Bland, Ian Poulter, Laurie Cantor, Jesus, yeah, Sergio Garcia, James Piet, David Pugh, Turkett Petit, Oliver Fisher, Adrian Otogui, uh, Andy Ogletree. Yeah, this is shit. Yeah, this
No,
is
look. Mickelson said this. Mickelson was then asked to clarify what he was apologizing for. Speaking the truth about the Saudis, or are you sorry about shameless hypocrisy of taking money away? To Mickelson, he responded, "I've always seen the good at the game of golf and had done throughout history, and I believe that Live Golf is going to do a lot of good for the game as well." And I'm excited for the opportunity, and that's why I'm here. Sounds very stock, Phil, for a nigga that knows your money is blood money. I understand that many people have very strong opinions and may disagree with my decision. I can emphasize with that. But at the time, this is the opportunity that I've given my chance to have the most balance in my life going forward, and I think this is going to do a lot of good for the game. Would a journalist asks if he felt good of the game can make up for the killing of homeboy. Mickelson said nobody here condones human rights violations. Nobody's trying to make up for that. All right, nobody's trying to make up for anything here. Okay, all right. So watch me swing this golf club.
it's like look.
Yo,
That
making
is
money,
what
Phil. Making money, Phil, because I'm
that's
not
what
hating on him.
that's why I was like, it's self-preservation. If, like you said, if you're the person that's 40th in ranking and you're only raking in 75,000 a year, which is sad because I make more than that person, you goddamn right I don't take 90 million. Again,
Fuck
I
you
ain't
think
saying
I'm
it's
gonna
right,
sit
but I
down here and not
understand.
make that 4 million? Dog, I'm hearing that caddies is making close to $1 million. You don't go, fuck yeah, they are.
Now think about it, D. If the Saudis came to you and said, "Hey, I'll pay you 10 million to be on Live," I guarantee your wife will look at you and be like, "You better take that fucking money." Like,
Nigga,
come
I'm
on.
living in Dubai tomorrow. I'm going to Dubai
Hey,
tomorrow.
D, we still do the Working Title Sports
Oh,
Show. You goddamn right.
I'm actually, can I bring 3 black geeks? I am making the whole show obnoxious as hell. Yeah, man. So we out here in Dubai. Where y'all at? Ha, America. Ha.
Now, here's the thing. I feel the people that turned it down, it's like, yeah, you could afford to, and maybe you're content with where you're at. That's fine.
Of course,
Like,
of
yeah, it
course.
makes sense. It makes sense. But like other people, it's like, no, I get it. I'm not gonna judge you. Get your money up. Fuck it.
You know,
It is what it is.
like I remember people gave Vince and everybody shit for this when they went over there. What about that? And it's like Brock said something very poignant. He's like, "What the fuck that guy do with me?" And he basically didn't say that, but it was more like, "Yeah, I understand that, but I'm here to wrestle."
But
Oh,
Vince
the
also,
fuck that guy do with
but
me?
the thing of it is, people also forgot Vince let the wrestlers have an option if they wanted to go or not. If they didn't
Yeah,
want to go, if they didn't want to go because for reasons, political reasons, he was like, all right, that's cool, that's
cool.
fine.
You're not gonna make that check that weekend. I know some people that's gonna say hell yeah, and a bunch of them did.
Yeah, they were fine with it, and that's the
And
thing.
that's
It's like if
yeah.
and now if Vince didn't give him the option, oh yeah, we could definitely say, yo, Vince, you're a fucking asshole.
You
But
know,
he's like,
and
no, no.
look. I am not a person that says this is a good thing. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing, but I do see the good in it. When you have the girls wrestle over there and everybody look, oh, the girl, like we can have our opinions. I love how Americans have our opinions on how people from another country sees things. Like, no, you're seeing it like an American that sees it. Shut the fuck up. Like I hate it when we do that shit. So I do see the good in that doesn't make waves. I don't fucking know. It's an Islamic country, man. It's really hard to tell when it comes to
Yeah,
women's rights. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
It's one of the more freer Islamic countries, but still, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? It's really hard to tell what they're, how good it is and all the rest of that shit. So the only thing you can do is be an entertainer.
yeah,
Keep your head down and be an entertainer. You're not in no politics. You're not in the middle of nobody's business. Keep your head down, do your backflip, shut the fuck up.
yeah,
And should you, as a person, deal with that? No. So thank God Vince gave that option. If you don't want to make that check, it's all fine by me. You can keep your ass here in America. We see you when you get back.
yeah. That's it. It's
Is that
cool.
going to fuck up my push? I don't know. We'll find out. Look, I'm being real on that one. We'll find out. We might need you.
Yeah, this is what it is, But
So,
I asked you this, D. So on the F1 front, Lewis Hamilton is slowly getting towards the hundreds, but he's still like 100 points behind from Verstappen on the rankings here. But I saw an article that came out that basically said that basically inherently Ferrari has to be perfect from here on out in order
yes, they do.
in order for them to take over Verstappen.
What happened was pretty much Red Bull has really strung together some great wins, despite because who was it? Checo won the Monaco Grand Prix,
Mhm.
Verstappen won the last two, and what happened was Leclerc was supposed to be higher, but you end up having an engine failure on the last one. Then he had this last one at the Canadian Grand Prix. He had to go from he had to pretty much go from 16th place all the way up to almost fifth or fourth place. So that took him some time to get to. So it was really they're just behind in points. And then on top of that, his partner Carlos Sainz has just been having an unlucky year. The last race he did come in second place, but it's been tough on the squad. So at this point, especially with the pace that Red Bull has at this point, they're not going to slow down. Some of the easier races for them are coming up. You know what I mean? Some of the
Mhm.
races where max eat up is coming up. So they're going to have a tough time. So they have no choice but to be perfect. Then on top of that, you have Mercedes, who are not at 100%, but they're getting slowly better. It's weird. It's very weird. George Russell has been the most consistent. Lewis has been getting better every other week, but it feels like Lewis has to cuss his car out for him to get a good result.
Yep.
So it's so weird because he complained the last two races, especially his back pain. His back has been killing him.
Yeah.
And Lewis has been really putting it out there because it's like, yo, this is going to fuck up not just my back, but a bunch of us, and a bunch of the drivers been saying the same thing. This ain't good for the back. So hopefully something will come out of that too. But you'll see on that shit,
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah. Like I said, he has to cuss his whole car out to get that shit to do anything. Luckily for that, say at this point, it really is just three teams: Red Bull, Mercedes, and Ferrari. Ferrari can't get complacent. They have to still try to get in second. I mean, try to fight for first place because Leclerc still has a chance to fight for the championship this year. But he fucking up. He's not getting the results he wanted, and shit. Red Bull is just getting all the not Red Bull. I mean, Ferrari's just getting all the bad luck this year so far, man. Despite having the best, I guess, first two races of the season. You know what I mean? Despite how it started off, they're starting to fuck up. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Not even at the halfway point yet.
Yeah. I know it's been a minute since we talked about wrestling, but I wanted to talk about it because I've been pretty much following AEW on and off, depending on how I feel every week and stuff. Forbidden Door is coming up. And the Forbidden Door is pretty much AEW, New Japan, wrestling and stuff. I know D said it feels like it's been like how many years too late?
6, 5.
But I mean, I'm
They
digging
picked a
with
hell of a time to do it, but whatever. You're doing it. Here we are. You know.
Yeah,
what I
here
mean?
we are. I'm still feeling some way about how they've been handling this AEW World Championship shit because that whole battle royale was a clusterfuck just to say John Moxley
Did you
won it.
see that shit? AEW.
It was a clusterfuck. Just you might as well just say you might as well just say John Moxley won it, and I would have been fine with that. But y'all went through the
they
whole
telegraphed that shit. The second that nigga walked in the ring, started giving niggas a finger, I'm like, John about to win this whole shit.
It was. It's like
Because here's the thing that everybody got. All these dumbass AEW fans, it's going to be Kenny Omega. He's still hurt, y'all.
He's still hurt, man.
And also, just on some real shit, I got a feeling even if Kenny wasn't, they were talking like, so we wanted to be Kenny Omega. You guys cool with that? We here at New Japan says Kenny could go fuck himself. Like, I feel that they're still mad at Kenny. So, you know, I didn't think that was going to happen regardless, but I was thinking to myself, D, what would Vince do? Vince would send somebody that's already established over in Japan. It's going to be John.
Yeah.
What? D is going to be John. Why would it be John? I mean, there's other guys, D. You just said the key word. Who's the only one that's already established in Japan? That'll be John Moxley. Who's the one that the crowd's going to pop for? I mean, they can pop for other guys. D.
John Moxley.
John Moxley. And who's the other person that could have done that? Daniel Bryan, and he's fucking hurt. Yeah.
There you go.
This has been a wonderful clusterfuck, and I am glad it's happening.
And I'm laughing because, and this is why I kind of hate the whole AEW versus WWE thing that fans are doing, is that I'm seeing some of these AEW fans be like, you know what, man, there's injuries in AEW, but at least they got a lot of people. WWE's down bad. I'm like, WWE has people too. So what are you talking about? They're down bad.
I don't understand like, none of these weird
comments. What are we doing?
It's bad enough that the WWE fans wear me the fuck out, but good Lord.
I mean, so the ace Tanahashi popped up on AEW Rampage, so we're getting Moxley versus Tanahashi for the interim AEW championship at Forbidden Door. On the main event front, Jay White just won the IWGP World Champion Heavyweight Champion belt, and
it was actually a pretty decent match between him and Okada. Okada actually is going to go for a short little break. He's being a dad for the first time, so he's about to take a vacation. I will say this: if you don't see Okada until about around Wrestle Kingdom time, yeah, you know. So I that's what I was. Like, if he shows up in November, it wouldn't surprise me.
Jay White cut Jay White cut the promo that everybody felt MJF cut. It was a type of promo that's like, all right, I love it. I like it. I didn't like it.
You
didn't like it? You didn't like it?
The one with MJF, I hated it because it
was CM Punk 2.0.
Which one?
The pipe bomb shit from Monday Night Raw.
Oh no. I mean no, the MJF one. I didn't like it because they telegraphed a work shoot. You telegraphed a shoot.
You told everybody ahead of time he's gonna.
You told everybody ahead of time. So I don't believe none of the story.
Instead of making it a surprise that he popped up on Rampage, nah, we got to get JR making an announcement that he's popped. I'm like, why are you making an announcement? It's supposed to be okay.
There's there's nothing organic with it, man. The whole thing with Jay White, dog, nobody knows you like that, man. You talking a lot of shit for only 40% of this audience, and only 20% of them like you. So
what we're getting at Forbidden Door is Jay White versus Hangman Page versus Okada versus Adam Cole.
That's not a bad match, actually. That might be okay.
We're getting Will Ospreay versus Orange Cassidy for the United States title. Yeah, that's a thing.
No, I don't like Will Ospreay, and I don't know why everybody didn't mean to like him out of nowhere.
Oh, when old boy slapped his ass during Rampage, I fucking laughed.
Oh man, Dax, who's been I will agree with everybody. Dax has been one of the most excellent wrestlers in wrestling. I will say that it's always weird when we get these tag team guys who realize they're more than tag team guys, And for D, it's funny because a part of me thinks that when Vince saw them, Vince was like, I told you, you didn't need them. like Vince, don't let it fool you. Vince will deal with a tag team if they make money, if they this and all that. If you're a good unit, yeah. But if he don't see the money if he sees money in one of you and not both of you, he's going to go to that person with the money like, you.
So
I tell you, man. Dax
Um,
has been perfect this year, man. So I can give him that. Despite all the little, oh, we love you, Bret Hart bullshit, the little gate
oh,
bullshit he been doing. I'm cool with it, man. He good,
yeah.
man. He been great, bro.
We're getting Thunder Rosa versus Tony Stone. Tony Storm for the
Mm,
AEW Women's Championship. It should be fine.
yeah,
Winner take all. FTR versus Jeff Cobb and Great Khan and Roppongi Vice for the tag titles.
sure.
Uh,
They're throwing these together, bro. That's thrown together like fuck. Go ahead.
dude. When I saw Roppongi Vice get added to, I was like, okay, so now we're just getting ridiculous at this
Y'all
point.
just putting Roppongi Vice in there, man. Like I forgot there's still a thing, but nobody
Yeah.
anyway.
So Pac versus Miro versus Malachi back versus Ishii for the AEW All Atlanta Championship.
Sure.
Zack Sabre Jr. versus the newest member of the Blackpool Combat Club. We'll see who that is. We don't know yet. The speculation of who it could be, but we'll see. Eddie Kingston, Yumino and Yuta versus Chris Jericho, Suzuki, and Sammy Guerra. It's a regular mass match as usual. Dudes with attitudes, which is Sting, Darby Allin, Takahashi, and Takagi versus Bullet Club. Tag match.
I will say this: at least they built it like a motherfucking New Japan show. Jesus.
And then the last one is the Gun Club, which is Billy Colton and Austin Gunn and Max Caster versus the New Japan Dojo team.
That's a thrown together. Yo, Billy, why they do that to your kids, nigga?
You really think they do that together?
Boy, why they do that to him? Billy Gunn. This is a new. I hate how every promotion treated Billy Gunn like shit. You know why? Because the only promotion to me that actually treated Billy Gunn the way he should have been treated was actually WWE. I fucking hate that. Do you know how much I fucking hate that?
It's kind of sick, isn't it?
Hey, D, would he be opening a match in WWE? Fuck yeah, he would. But he be getting paid more shit.
I was like, New Japan Dojo Club. I was like, that's a thing?
Oh my god. You got y'all fighting the young lions, bro. They got y'all fighting the kids. They fighting imagine the young lions now because they don't have an NXT in New Japan. Just imagine all the motherfuckers, the actual graduates of a NXT school. That's who they're wrestling. They're wrestling the students.
Oh man. I just had to
throw that out. Mr. Ass deserves better. Anyway.
I just had to throw that out there because I'm genuinely excited a little bit for this and stuff.
I am not. I'm going to see what happens though. I'm definitely going to see what happens.
I'm curious.
If there's anything I can now, there's one more thing because I want to wrap this show up. But if there's something I can add in there when it comes to wrestling, fucking, I see everybody. Stop. Do not let Montez get in his head that he's a fucking future world champion. I feel like this nigga's gonna overshoot it. Then he's only gonna look, and then when he get a singles run, we be like, oh shit, this nigga is like a weaker version of Kenny King. I don't want that to happen to him.
Sir, why did you
like
Kenny King?
I love Kenny King. First off, fuck all y'all. I love Kenny King, man. Kenny King.
I can't tell, D. I can't tell.
He's one of the most consistent bambas out there. I say he's gonna be a weaker version of him, man. God, imagine Kenny King if he only did FIP shows in Florida, you know, like that. Don't do that to like. I have this feeling Montez.
They saw one shot of Montez. It was like future champion. I'm like, guys,
y'all don't push that nigga too quickly, man. But but here's the funny thing. I'm cool with it though because I think there is a lot of potential that he got. I don't know where it could be though. But I really don't because his move set is so erratic. I really don't.
But we'll
see, man. We'll see.
The best news ever: Big E is out the freaking neck brace.
Yeah,
and he is being his usually lively Big E self, which means it's gonna be interesting what happens when he comes back.
Like I said, man. Right now, what we're building towards is Cody coming back for the Royal Rumble, which is going to be fucking insane.
Meanwhile, Brock is like, Guess who's back, bitches?
Brock coming back pissed me off a little bit.
I was happy. I was like, yes.
And then I
yes.
saw that cowboy hat, and I was like, you know what, Brock?
Just
Get
shit,
out of here. Bring your ass out of here, man.
just shit kicker at cowboy hat.
Man, bring that little ashy 10-gallon motherfucker out. Come on, man. Bring your ass out here, you fucking farmer. Like, I'm cool. Like, whatever.
I'm cool with it because it's like, look, people are injured and people are just recovering. You don't want to rush anything back. Who's the best person that will come in and you know be the thing for against Roman? Brock. Fuck it. All right, cool.
Now, the interesting thing that did happen that is going to that is kind of worrying, D, is this. Sasha was released out of her contract. It was the best thing I would say it was the best thing for the whole situation, just to fuse all of it. And I say that because I feel that even if you brought Sasha back, what good is it for her to come back in an environment that she don't feel welcome in?
But also, D, I guess this is a good way to end it off. There's a fire sale going down in WWE where Vince is in some deep shit.
Yep.
He came on Monday Night Raw on some like,
oh man,
and it was the most weirdest flex ever, complete with them memeing him jumping off the stairs, which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, which they're still doing.
Which
is one of the best pictures was him doing.
Vince did some fucked up shit. One of them being he paid out somebody with WWE funds.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Sexual harassment that he paid somebody off of, by the way, with WWE funds.
Chris, if all of this actually is going to be as damning as I think it's going to be, it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah,
it is not going to be.
And there's
pretty.
A reason why Steph kind of probably backed off because I'm pretty sure she figured, oh, there's some shit that's going to come out. Let me back the fuck away from this shit.
Yeah, so Steph is the perfect person you can put out there. It's a name that everybody knows. Here's the thing. WWE is going to be going through some nasty shit, and right now you have to lean into what makes the company great.
Mm-hmm.
So putting Stephanie in charge of that day-to-day shit is actually perfect for you. You have somebody that can work it.
Mm-hmm.
There's news came out that Triple H is actually starting to work again. I don't know if it's going to be I don't know if he's going to be working at NXT again.
Well, we know Shawn Michaels
on the main show.
We know Shawn Michaels is working at NXT right now. So
yeah, I know. I don't. But here's the funny thing: we don't know if they're going to put him on the main show or they're going to put him on NXT. Personally, put Trips on the main show.
Yeah,
get him on the main show. Make sure the right people get pushed and all the rest of that shit. It's going to get ugly because the person that's running everything creatively right now is somebody that's good. Here's a funny thing. He doesn't have Vince in his fucking ear, and that's Bruce Pritchard. Bruce is actually not bad without Vince in his ear.
True.
But then again, he's a Vince person. So there's still going to be Vince-isms everywhere.
It's WWVD. What would Vince do?
It's going to be this weird thing where like, well, there's a lot there. Hey, there's a lot of wrestling in this, but still kind of Vince-like, isn't it?
I mean, you know, speaking of wrestling, though, it was weird because we talk about Cody. He's back. He's getting his pec repaired, his torn pec repaired. But there was a lot of people. I'm gonna say this. Maybe there were some people concerned, and that's fine. I saw a lot of fake concern going down when Seth and Cody were wrestling, and I'm like,
oh, nah. It was weird because there was some people saying it was foolish of WWE.
It's tasteless, and I'm like, that was Cody's decision, guys.
Nah, you know what the doctor said? The doctor saw that like, okay, you can do it. You're going to feel every goddamn bump, but you can do it.
If there's a person that I think Cody knew that he could wrestle in that case and was going to take care of him, it was going to be
Seth.
It's going to be Seth.
And you know what I loved about that match? Seth fucked that nigga up.
You know what?
Look.
Seth, it's not even Roman. It's Seth that's literally like just.
Seth is Seth. I already told that to everybody. I told that to everybody, and I mean it, man. Seth, for the last 7 months, has been the best wrestler in the world to me. Mm-hmm. Period. I don't think nobody has been better than him. He has
taken everything that he's been giving and just works it. It is perfect.
Like I said, whatever. But anyway, I think that's a show.
Yeah, that's a show. You know,
that's a show.
That's a show. As per usual.
I'm glad we got the golf in there.
we're like I said, we're in the dog days of summer. You know, NFL will be back in beginning of August.
Couple of months.
couple of
But I
months
mean,
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, about a month or
So,
two.
post San Diego, post Otakon, that's when we'll be back to our usual weekly working title sports show self. So,
Yep.
between now and then, we'll probably sprinkle some more episodes.
We'll see what happens. We'll see what
We'll see
happens.
what happens. So, but anyways, guys, thanks for joining in, and we'll catch you guys later. Peace out.
Peace.